Hey, welcome back to our Hearts of Iron 4 playthrough. I appreciate the support on the earlier video, which is the inspiration on this video. But as you can see, unlike the previous video, we have Poland right now. And the reason for that is, the reason why I said in the short that I'm working on something in the background is because I actually had to restart and actually get Poland because it was crucial, guys. It was crucial for me to get Poland. And the reason for that is, when I recorded episode 2 originally, I did not have enough men in the field to cover both France and England at the same time. Now, you might be thinking, well, no shit. Well, that's correct, but at the same time, when I went to invade Poland the last game, I kept checking to see if Britain would guarantee Poland, and they never did for the longest time. And then I got the war goal completed, and then they switched. Okay, so I was in a battle that I could not win even with all the garrisons I had. So with that being said, I was like, I'm gonna restart, I'm gonna play through, get Poland, and we're gonna go with the same plan that we had before. So that is what we're doing. Nothing's changed. The map has only changed a little bit, but we're still going with the game plan. Now, because I had to take Poland so early, right now we are using typical infantry, but I do intend to keep the typical infantry to a minimum, okay, because the original plan still stands. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode. I hope you enjoy, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We're now past 1400. Thank you so much, guys, for real. But without further ado, let's get into this thing. What do we got for well, let's take a look at this general first of all. Traits. Yeah, I mean, he's not bad at all. I got him garrison in Poland right now, but like I said, we're gonna be working on other stuff now too. So, and let's see here. A short 1,000 anti-tank about, because I did research anti-tank this time. I have an idea. I think we're gonna make some tank destroyers as well as some self-propelled units. So that's what I have planned as of right now. We got plenty of XP, so I'm gonna see what we got going on in terms of research here. Okay, within 6 days, I think I may get the next weapon technology as well. We definitely, as you can see, we definitely have enough trucks. We have over 2,200 trucks right now. So motorized infantry and mechanized infantry are going to be still a core element of what I have planned. But we are doing about 6-point anti-tank per week, so I'd say we'd probably end up making a couple a day by the time the efficiency gets where it needs to be. 1938 technologies. And I do plan on getting the Arms Against Tyranny DLC probably around Christmas, so we might start a new series after that, just because that's typically what I do when I get a new DLC. I just start the whole thing over again so that I don't have to catch up with the pieces, parts, and you know, because those types of DLCs give you parts to allocate to customize guns, planes, tanks, whatever. And so due to that fact, when I get a new DLC, I typically start over from scratch, so there'll probably be a new series coming after I get that around Christmas time. And our construction queue is quite extensive right now. Let's get that game on pause, thank you. And it's gonna be a while before we get all the way through it. For sure. I'm gonna stick the rest of the commanders in now that we have the political power to do so we can get XP passively here. We can't do the airplane yet, but we can, however, do the naval guy, so that's good. I think I'm gonna recognize the Wehrmacht, because I do plan on going to war with Russia, and so, which is gonna be a massive undertaking, to be honest, but we'll try. why. Yeah, as you can see, we're making about 1 anti-tank per day now, so it's going extremely well. 7 trucks per day, that's very, very well done. I've taken some stuff off to increase the production of certain things, but 7 trucks per day still isn't that bad. We're now almost up to 2,500 trucks. That is fantastic because we're really gonna spam those units out. I'm excited for that. And I think after I get the next technology that comes in, guys, I'm gonna research the medium tank here, their early chassis, so we can get some self-propelled and tank destroyers running through. And then what I'll do is I'll put the self-propelled and tank destroyers in the mobile infantry divisions. Not a whole lot because I don't want to crap our organization, but I will definitely put stuff that I didn't put in the normal infantry divisions into the mobile divisions. I'll probably use self-propelled or tank destroyers or both in the mobile divisions, both mechanized and mobile, or motorized I should say. We might even make a couple a day, I'm not sure, but right now we're making 1.1 anti-tank per day, and it went up to 11.11, so it's going places. We just gotta wait a little bit and then we'll be good to go. We got 1,600 pieces of artillery. That's fantastic. And we got the next technology. So I think what I'm gonna do actually now, like I said, is research the medium chassis here so we can start making self-propelled or tank destroyers or whatever. And then once all my synthetic refineries is done, I can quit trading for rubber and get some of those civilian factories back. We do have some going towards trading for tungsten as well, but the main thing is once we get the rubber we need, we can trade back for some of our construction capabilities. I actually need to research the armor plating and stuff. I don't think I've done that yet in this particular playthrough. Let me check if I actually did, because if not, I'm gonna have to research some of that before I build the medium tank or the tank destroyer or self-propelled, whatever it is. So let me check if I've actually done that. I don't think I did. I'm gonna click right here. I did get the engine, but I didn't get the armor plating. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do is we're going to let the next research actually do the armor plating, and we'll get the 1938 stuff as well, just so that we're completely caught up here. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to start to train these motorized divisions, and then what we'll do is we'll let the factories catch up to whatever we add to them. If we can get 12 per, that'd be awesome. We can't do that exactly. How many can we do? Okay, so the most we can do at one time currently is 8, which is fine. That is quite a few divisions, honestly, so, and with us doing 7 per day, we'll get through that tiny little deficit pretty quickly. Get ourselves a new national focus here. Oh yeah, we're already almost out of that truck deficit, so. I would say that the truck production probably needs to go up a little bit more, but we don't exactly have the factories to do that, and I can't exactly take stuff off yet. So I mean, I could do guns if I wanted to, but they're not even making 100 a day yet, so I think we're just gonna roll with it, guys. We're not really that many short anyway. We're only about 1,000 pieces of anti-tank short, so that's gonna be taken care of pretty quick. If I had to estimate, we're probably gonna, at peak efficiency, we're probably gonna make about 2 anti-tank per day, if I had to estimate, but I'm not exactly sure. And we're back up to 82 trucks available. That's awesome. We got 123 support equipment stockpiled, which really isn't all that much because, you know, everything takes support equipment. So the production of that definitely needs to go up as well. There's no question about it. It's just gotta get the factories and, you know, everything else done. I want to knock some of these refineries out of here. And we also have some, what's coming after these? I think it's the infrastructure. We basically spam the infrastructure here and also the railroads that didn't get done yet. I did push some of these railroads forward to the top of the list before the invasion of Poland because we needed to get supplies within that area, but I think for now I'm just gonna leave them on the bottom. Yeah, for now I'm just gonna leave this stuff on the bottom here. We need to do a new national focus. Let's see. Army experience, organization. Yes, that would be great. But before you decide on that one, what does this one do? Movement speed. Okay, I'm gonna go with the organization boost because I think that would definitely be a contributing factor to our success. So I'm gonna go with the organization boost and whatnot. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn Poland into a militaristic country. What I mean by that is a lot of it's going to be military resources like gas, rubber. We're not exactly gonna need rubber by the time these refineries get in here. We're also gonna need fuel. We're gonna need military factories. So I think I'm gonna focus on military factories in Poland. We might get a couple construction factories for Poland just so that we can build slightly faster. But I think primarily Poland's gonna be a very militaristic country in the sense that it's gonna be a lot of military buildings. Let's add some ports to the queue here. That's 3. I want to add 5 more. So let's go ahead and do that. And then I think after the ports, what we'll do is we will get a couple construction factories for Poland. But we're not going to go whole hog on them. Because a lot of Poland has to be industrialized in the sense that we gotta put some infrastructure in there to get better build slots and whatnot. Okay, and let's see. I think once we get this infrastructure done, we're also gonna, go kind of berserk with military factories on the main Germany country. So there's gonna be a lot of military factories being built. Paused again. What the heck? I need to turn on the day-night cycle so I can tell when I'm paused here. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Just leave the day-night cycle. Yes, it's kind of annoying, but it will let me know if I'm paused or I'm not paused. So just leave the day-night cycle on here so that I can tell if I'm paused or not. We're about to get our last construction factory built here, which should bring 4 construction factories working on that one refinery on the bottom there with 3 on it. But eventually though, if we can get to a point where we start building 5 things at once with 15 factories, that would be absolutely fantastic. Okay, why did that go down to 0? I don't know why. It is what it is, I guess. Already still making 3 of them at once, so I'm not gonna complain. Although that does kind of puzzle me in a sense though. Okay, and now we have our motorized divisions being trained up. How many trucks do we have available right now? Should be quite a few. 300, we're doing 8 per day, almost 400 trucks, but we're not gonna be able to recruit 8 divisions again, because that requires a lot more. Okay, we got our next national focus, and we'll be good to go. Alright, so what do we want to do next? Land doctrine costs. Yes, definitely. And it helps with the technology somehow as well, so that's awesome. We already checked that. How are we doing technology wise? Alright, so more than likely the next technology we'll get is the improved infantry equipment. Alright, cool. Yeah, I think I hit it right on the money. I'm probably at least gonna make probably 2 anti-tank per day or something. Alright, so we're actually pumping these refineries out. because they're all getting done rather quick. We're making 8.21 trucks per day. We're up to 600 in stockpile. So I'm actually thinking that we should maybe only recruit this one time and then let the trucks like catch up again and do it again. So let me say that we only want this one time so we don't throw ourselves into massive debt here. But I do want to grow the Germany to a certain degree. So how are we doing on rubber now? Okay, we got 10 now. So once we get all of these rubber refineries done, I'm just gonna cancel the trade. But I'm not gonna cancel the 4 then, just to make sure that we'll be out of the deficit for sure. Okay, now I'm gonna start upgrading the armor plating for the tank, and we're gonna get the 1938 engine as well. But I'm gonna get this armor plating here, and at least we don't have to worry about the invasion of Poland because that's already taken care of. But we do have to worry about the Russians. We do have to worry about the Allies. But hopefully before any of that happens, we can have a strong enough military that we can actually probably beat the Russians if we're smart about it, to be brutally perfectly honest. Anti-Comintern pack. Let's get that so we can just get the war goal and I'm ready to go to war with Russia. Where did we get the factory from? That being said, I'm gonna stick more of this on the anti-tank here because we're gonna need a lot more. And we're already up to 2 per day. If I had to estimate, we're probably gonna get into 3 point something per day now that it has more factories on it. But I also need to make another army. There we go. Make a new commander, and then I'm gonna take this guy right here and put him in there. And once we get the 1938 engines for the tanks and the 1938 armor, I'm gonna essentially work on building that tank destroyer and self-propelled. I'm just gonna let the trucks catch up for a little bit, get up to another 2,000 or so. We're short 840 pieces of anti-tank, which really won't take that long, honestly, because we are doing 2.6 per day. So yeah, we're actually cranking these out. Now it's 2.8, so we're cranking these out. I've got 350 military XP, 26 aerial XP. You got 15 rubber now. That's fantastic. Really fantastic. We should go into, I would think, like the 30s by the time all these refineries go into existence here. Maybe even more than that. I'm hoping that it's a lot more than that. I'm hoping it's like 50, because that's gonna give us the capability of mass producing airplanes, which we're going to need to beat Russia. We're going to need to beat the Allies. So a lot of this is going to be sitting around at this point now that we have Poland. But I think Poland was a crucial element that we did not have for the first episode. Again, I'm going to call this the second episode because I had to delete the second episode and then restart and play all the way through the invasion of Poland in 1937. We got it in 1938, so we fought for a year, which honestly rather quickly we annexed Poland, which was fantastic. But we did have some issues with it, not too much so. Can I do Austria yet? No, I can't. I didn't think I could, but I wanted to see if I could. What can I do here? Yeah, let's get this extra research slot here, and then we can research a bit faster. Maybe at some point we can do 2 of the armor, the tank technologies all at one time. And that way we can get through that faster, etc. But how close are we to 1939? October. So basically, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to maybe research the 1939 artillery. Try and get it a little bit early. At this point, there's gonna be a little bit of a debuff, but it shouldn't be too bad. But let's get this first, because we're going to need that technology for the stuff that takes gas. So I think that was the smarter move, getting the full fuel capacity, refinery stuff. That way we can push back the research a little further so we don't get too much of a debuff on that. And we're still short 700 anti-tank, which is crazy because we're doing almost 3 per day, all things considered. But sometimes I hate how long it takes to get this production where it needs to be. It's like, oh, you want it to be higher? Sorry, you know, especially when you're hundreds, if not thousands of equipment in the hole. Yeah, 600 support equipment. That's more like what we need right there. We got 1,200 truck and stockpile, but we're gonna use a lot of that by the time we recruit another division. So let's get these political offices in place here. Nice. All right, we got part of this tree filled up. I'm really excited for Hearts of Iron 5 when they finally do it. Of course, no word has been given, but I really want to see a 5th game, dude. Because this is a great game, but it is dated. And from what I've seen from CK3 and Europa 5, now I don't have Europa 5. I do plan on getting it eventually, and we will be doing a series of that. But CK3 and Victoria 3, from what I've seen from those games, Hearts of Iron would look bloody awesome if they were able to revamp that in the same graphical style. It would just be absolutely fantastic. Okay, so now we got the basic medium tank chassis. So what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna start getting the 1938 engine. We'll get that in about 92 days, and then we'll get the armor plating in 17 days, and then I'll work on the next one. But I think we're gonna do some engineering. Actually, you know what? I should build a spy network just for defense. I'm not gonna use them for anything really because I don't really like it taking away from the other stuff that I need to focus on, if that makes sense to you guys. But I also know that we need to have one computing machine, okay? That'll increase our research speed a little bit. And let's get the radio because we're a little bit behind on that. And it would be nice to have that part to put into the tank when we actually build it. Not to mention researching the signal companies. I probably should work on that. But I do want to get the next armor plating thing next. So we're gonna do that and see what we can't build out of that. So we are going to be building medium tank destroyers, self-propelled, and tanks themselves. I just want to have time to do that. Just give me time to actually do that. I want to get the best stuff available right now so we can do such a thing without have to worry about, oh, do I have this? So, because I want to optimize these medium tank slash self-propelled slash tank destroyers as much as I can, and then I'm gonna try to research a good template to use for that without making our organization take a dip too much. You know what, we could at this point I think start working on the 1939 stuff. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take and get some of the upgrades. We do need to get military police, honestly, but I'm gonna get an upgrade for the supply company because we are using those. I'm also gonna get an upgrade for the field hospital. All that's gonna help quite a bit, but for now let's just slowly get the 1939 technology that we need. A national focus. Okay, let's start going down the warfare tree for the army just to keep ourselves busy here. And then I am super excited to build this tank slash tank destroyer, etc. I am really excited to build this thing, but we gotta wait until I get the engine and the armor protection, etc. Well, Christmas is past. Very peaceful Christmas, unlike that day in reality. Recognize Bulgaria's claims. Geez, we're still 600 short. That is absolutely insane. We have 24 rubber at this point in time. So that's quite a bit of rubber coming in right now. We're about to get more. I don't think this was a bad idea, guys. I think really making this many synthetic refineries was actually a good idea. A very good idea, to be honest. Because now we don't necessarily need to rely on other nations' trade at this point in time. It's basically nullified. But at the same time, I don't want to cancel our trade for rubber until I get all of these synthetic refineries done. So we know for a fact that we'll be out of the deficit once we cancel it. Alright, now we're going to do this, and we're making almost 10 trucks per day. We have 1,900 available. We're making almost 3 anti-tank per day. We're only short 561 currently, so that's not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, I feel like it needs to be as high as the artillery is right now, but I would imagine anti-tank is probably harder to build, to be perfectly honest. So I'm happy with almost 3. We still have quite a bit on the production efficiency bar to go, but I would say at maximum we're gonna produce relatively somewhere in the 3 range, maybe 3.80 or something, but I don't think we're actually gonna hit 4. If we actually do hit 4, I would be ecstatic, but we will see. And I actually do need to build a spy network, to be perfectly honest. We're about to hit 3 per day on the anti-tank, so like I said, we might hit 4 per day, but I don't think so, not at the current tools and stuff that we have. But I could be wrong. I might be surprised. We might actually creep into the 4s of the anti-tank per day, but I would be surprised if that actually happened. I would be very surprised if that actually happened. Now we have 29 rubber that we can use, and we're almost done with these refineries. Not quite though, not quite. Now we have 31. There we go, we got the engine. Now we just need the armor plating, but I'm going to start working on the 1939 efficiency stuff. Actually, to be honest, we should update the artillery, so I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna update the artillery, and then we'll work on getting the production rate a little higher. Okay, I'm gonna go with the heavy tank designer, just because that's what we're going to do eventually. So I'm gonna implement the heavy tank designer and continue the game here. Okay, we're now 3.6 anti-tank per day. We're doing 100 rifles per day. That's fantastic. We have almost 10 trucks per day coming off, and we have 1,300 trucks. So go with the Prussian legacy here, just because it increases our soft attack that's doing anything. I mean, it's still going up. The amount of trucks being made is still going up. We might actually get 4 anti-tank per day, and that would be awesome if we did. Okay, we got what we need for this, so I'm gonna start to work on the production capabilities on the factories that we have. And when we get the logistics company too, in about 11 days, I'm gonna go to the field hospital. That's what I'm gonna do. I do want to go to production here and start a new production line of, oh wow, we're doing 6 fighters per week, which really might not seem like a lot because I've had it up to 1 per day, but I completely forgot that we had that many factories on those. I do want to make a new production line. No, wrong section here. I want to make a variant first of all, and we got plenty of XP to work with. We want to go with a diesel engine. That makes our efficiency go up to 100 in right now. Medium turret type breakthrough. Okay, let's go with that. And then heavy armaments. We actually can do that, but I believe it turns it into tank destroyer at that point, which actually might be good. Why can't I get this? Okay, whatever. Alright, I thought maybe since we researched the anti-tank, we might be able to actually get that, but this unlocks the anti-tank destroyer. Okay, yeah, so let's turn this into a tank destroyer. So that's what we'll do. We'll turn it into a tank destroyer here. Did I get the radio? Yeah, I believe I did. Otherwise we wouldn't have that part. Special modules. Yeah, let's get that because that makes the reliability go up higher among some other stuff. And then what else do we want to do? Armor skins. I think that would be awesome to do. Welded armor would be great. I'm not sure if we want to do that though, because it might, cost a lot to do. But I think it'll be worth it. Additional machine guns. Soft attack piercing. Okay. Secondary turrets. Small cannon. Yeah. So now it has a low soft attack, but it has a relatively high hard attack. So yeah, that's probably how we want to design that, to be perfectly honest. It's gonna take chromium to build, but one thing's for sure. I think it's going to be a nasty basic medium tank. Right. I believe that's what we just built. I would think. It's going to be expensive to build, that's for sure. But I think it will definitely be worth it later. We got plenty of these light tanks. So what I'm going to do, just because we don't have like the factories to do anything right now, is I'm going to put one of these factories on the medium tank that we had designed for us. Now we're only making one light tank per day, but we got 2,000 of them, so I'm not too concerned about that. But with those being built here, we do have the resources to make that currently, but as we add factories to it, we're gonna need more and more to make those things, but that's okay. We'll trade if we need to. Basic medium tank. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes, guys. I'm gonna edit this part out, but I'm gonna do a little bit of research on how to get an optimized tank division with what we have here. Okay, supply company level 2. Nice. Very, very nice. Let's get it to be fantastic. And that way the divisions with that thing will be a lot better. Anyways, guys, I went and did some research using my phone. I love Gemini because when you get stuck with something and you're trying to craft your divisions optimally so you don't affect yourself too much, she's a big help. She might be an AI on your computer, phone such as Siri, but she's a big help. So now I'm back, and like I said, I added one medium tank brigade to our Panzer divisions, and hopefully once we start producing the medium tanks at a faster rate, I will start recruiting the Panzer divisions. But right now, I don't want to do that because it's just going to throw us in debt right now. We got our synthetic refineries honestly very close to being done. I'm thinking we're probably going to have close to 40 by the time all these synthetic refineries are done, which is actually rather really good. We have almost 2,000 pieces of artillery, which is great, and we're still short on anti-tank. Unfortunately, I really wish we weren't, but that's just the reality of the situation. I don't think we can do much about that unless we swap the factories around, but I don't really feel like doing that. Thankfully, we get 3 of these done being built at the same time, so that is good. Prussian Legacy is now done. I'm gonna get this so that we can get free factory, because that's a factory we could put on anti-tank, and more than likely we would hit 4 anti-tank per day at that point. You know what though? I think we should put on medium tanks though, for being honest. Because we're only making about 3.68 a month. We need to get it to the point where at least we're making 1 per day. Okay? So I think I'm gonna have a little bit of a different game plan. And we're going to essentially make it so that we're making more medium tanks per day. And I think we do have the artillery needed. Well, I should say the trucks needed to make the Panzer divisions. But we don't exactly have the tanks yet. Like I said, I added some more motorized brigades here. And we kept the light tanks. And then we also stuck a medium tank brigade in here. So once we get those cooking, I think we'll be fine. But we got 2,000, trucks and stockpiles. So maybe even close to 3,000 at this point. I'd have to actually go and look to be sure about that. Yeah, let's get some more factors on medium tanks. Now we're doing 1 per week, which isn't bad at all. But we need to get it so that we're doing several a day, or at least 1 per day. One of the two. Ideally, I'd like to at least get 3 factories on medium tanks. Because we need to crank those out more than we have to crank out anything else. Because cranking light tanks, yes, we need them, but not like we need medium tanks. Because right now, if we look at how many light tanks we have 2,600 light tanks. Okay? We don't really need any more of the... You know what? I'm gonna recruit some trucks now. Again, well, I think 12 is good. Actually, no. 12 throws us into debt a little bit. So, let's just get 1 division here. 1 time. 9 divisions 1 time. That will grow our army some, while still keeping the truck level at a manageable level. And actually, to be honest, let's go back to 8 like we were before. And that way, if I wanted to, I could probably continue to recruit 8 at a time because of how truck production is right now. 10 in a single day. Yeah, we've had a lot more. There's no doubt about it. We have had a lot more coming off. Like the one episode we had, I think, 10 coming off. But honestly, if we can keep the recruitment of motorized divisions up and to the point where it can be constant for a little bit, that would be actually ideal. I may even go down to 7. Yeah, let's do that just to be sure that we're gonna have enough trucks to do it again. And that should give us maybe 1,000 trucks, close to 1,000. Not quite, but close to 1,000 trucks and stockpile. So we should be able to do this again by the time the rest of them pop off, I would think. Let me get I think a signal company would be great, but we need that maintenance company here. And then let's help the recon. Fantastic. There we go. Now our recon is about to get better. We're about to add a maintenance company to the Panzer division in particularly. There we go. Alright, we got like 15 minutes left on the episode, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yes, it was a lot of talking. It was a lot of sitting around. But I have some big plans, guys. I really do. I want to do this right and I want to succeed. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I put my heart and soul in these videos. And I think I'm gonna be doing some more War Thunder eventually as well, but I just really want to take a break and do a Hearts of Iron series and have you guys share my success and all that. So we'll see where this series goes. You guys really enjoyed the last one. I hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as you did the last one, but I'm not sure if that'll happen, but we'll see. Yeah, we should be able to do these trucks divisions again. Alright, now let's get the 1939 artillery going, because that is going to be a great addition to our forces. That upgrade artillery is going to be awesome. And I will be putting more military factories in, guys. I just want to get everything else on the queue taken care of. At least get the queue shortened a little bit. That's kind of why I'm delaying this, because I don't want a queue that is, a mile long. And it's like, does this queue ever end? Like, I don't want that. It's already long enough. But I think there's no question about it that we're going to have 40 rubber produced right now. Oh yeah, we're past the 40 number at this point, so maybe even 60, but that even might be pushing it a little bit. We're about to get another one, so. But yeah, I think we'll leave the truck divisions on, 5. I think it's on 5 right now. No, first of all, I'm gonna change this to infinite for right now. We're getting 7 divisions per time these come off, which I think we're producing enough trucks to be able to actually do that. I also want to get the doctrine stuff, if we're being completely honest, before it gets out of control. So yeah, let's go with the assault infantry here. Nice. Oil refinery, awesome. Almost to the first mastery at this point. And then, let's see. Entrenchment would be great. Movement would be great. Entrenchment. I'm trying to the organization would be awesome. So let's go with the organization here. The tanks. How do we want to go here? Soft attack, breakthrough. Okay, that's tempting right there, but look at everything first before we actually do all that. Yeah, we'll go with the blitz, I think. And then operations. Let's see here. That 50% organization for all infantry plus mechanized is really tempting. That is really tempting. I'm not gonna lie, that is fantastic. But let's see what all of our options are. First of all, that soft attack. Guys, I think I'm gonna go with the organization, honestly, because that would be fantastic. There we go. Now, let's take a look at these divisions here. I'm gonna take a look at the Panzer divisions too, and see if our organization where it needs to be, because if it is, I'm probably gonna add another medium tank. Okay, organization is now at 32, so I could probably add one more medium tank brigade and be fine. So let's actually do that and see how that affects our organization. It is now at 30, so we'll be perfectly okay if we do that. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do that just to get some more punching power in these divisions. Our hard attack is 87.2. Our soft attack is 139. So that is awesome, with everything else being relatively good, besides the weight and the supply usage and a little other stuff that is production required. But I think that's gonna be really, really nice, and I think we're gonna add the maintenance company too now that I have them. I think we're researching them, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, we're still researching them, so that's my bad. But I think we're gonna set our Panzer divisions to be like this, because it doesn't affect us too much in other areas. Yeah, let's get the 1930 rubber processing, 1939, so we increase that, because that would be ideal. We got 3,000 pieces of artillery, and we're out of the anti-tank debt, so that's good. Now that that is done, we can take our time with that. But now we're waiting on the heavy tanks to get where they need to be. I would say we probably need 900 of them to start to recruit them, and we're doing 2.6 per week, which really isn't too bad at all. I'm glad we have a decent surplus of rubber at this point in time, because now once I get the military factories put in here, we're gonna really start cranking out the fighters and airplanes, etc., and it's gonna start to get exciting. I'm excited to what this military can actually do. I'm really excited to what this military can do. 48 rubber by ourselves. Well, actually not by ourselves, because we're still trading for some, but most of it is being done by ourselves, I can guarantee you. And now we're starting to crank out the infrastructure, so that usually goes pretty quick anyway, so not concerned about those at all. Not concerned at all in the slightest. Just building up our great German military, and people don't know it's coming. And that's the hilarious part, is people aren't gonna know what's coming. Alright guys, I'm gonna end the episode right here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We've been playing for about 2 hours now. Again, I'm gonna cut it down so that it's manageable for you guys, but I hope you guys enjoyed. God bless, and I thank you for all the people that did subscribe. It means a lot to me. God bless you all, and see you in the next one.